Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something that is honestly deeply personal, but also universally understood. I'm talking about the very real frustrations of dating. This is part of the Parashat and relationship series with Mazal Klein. You can see her right here on screen. Just like the weekly Torah portion, the Parashat offers these timeless life lessons. Mazal takes profound insights directly from her clinic to explore why so many of us feel totally stuck in the search for love, and more importantly, how to actually break free from that standstill. Okay, let's jump right in. Section 1. Dating frustrations. The pain is real. To really understand the mechanics of dating, we kind of have to start by listening to the raw, extremely common complaints from singles. And these aren't just minor annoyances, right? They are deep, entirely valid, and genuinely painful frustrations. For example, it often begins with this intense, isolating feeling. If only my married friends thought of me, I'd surely be married today. You look around and it just feels like all your friends have moved on, built their lives, and, well, simply forgotten about you. It's natural to think, if my social circle just put in a little more effort, my situation would be entirely different. You start to wonder if they're intentionally leaving you out, or if you're just an afterthought now that they're married. Then, there's the heavy weight of family history. We hear this one a lot. If my parents were a good example of a relationship, maybe it would be easier for me. It's that feeling of being totally unequipped for love because, let's face it, you didn't have a front row seat to a healthy marriage growing up. You carry the baggage of your parents' dynamic, and it becomes so easy to blame that history. I mean, how can you be expected to build a healthy relationship if you were never handed the blueprint for one? And of course, there's the sheer exhaustion of relying on external systems. I signed up with this matchmaker a year ago and haven't gotten a single suggestion. You put yourself out there, you sign up with matchmakers or dating apps, and then crickets. Nothing happens. It literally feels like the systems designed to help you are completely stalled out. When you combine the silence from friends, the baggage from family, and the failure of these external systems, wow, it creates a perfect storm of frustration. But now, here is the turning point. Yes, the pain and the frustration are completely real. There's no denying that. But this deep frustration inevitably forces every single person down one of two very distinct paths. The way you respond to this standstill actually dictates whether you're going to move closer to your goal of marriage or push it even further away. Which brings us to Section 2, the victim single, a psychological trap. So that first path leads to what Mazal Klein identifies as the victim single. Now, this isn't meant to be an insult at all. Rather, it's an archetype, a psychological trap where a person becomes completely paralyzed by their own defenses. A person who falls into this trap is entirely consumed by why things aren't happening. They point fingers at everyone else, the parents, society, friends, the matchmakers. But underneath all that blame, it's usually a profound fear. Fear of losing their independence, fear of making a massive mistake, or just fear of getting hurt. So instead of coping and taking action, they freeze. And the tragic irony here is that by freezing and blaming, they're actually moving further and further away from the exact relationship they desperately want. Let's move on to Section 3, taking responsibility, looking inward. Thankfully, there is an alternative to freezing. This second path is all about taking complete ownership of your journey, shifting your focus from the external world to your internal world. The crucial point here is this stark contrast in behavior. While the victim single freezes and essentially waits for some external magic to come fix their situation, the responsible single does the exact opposite. They don't wait for things to magically happen. They look inward, they study their own patterns, they figure out what needs strengthening, and they decide to actively do the hard work. So what does this hard work actually look like in real life? Well, the responsible single doesn't wait until after the wedding canopy to learn how to communicate. They start actively building these essential relationship muscles right now. They practice emotional dialogue, they hone their active listening, they establish healthy boundaries, and they cultivate a mindset of partnership and flexibility. Essentially, they are preparing the soil way before they plant the seed. By doing this, they persist through the really hard questions. They make good, deliberate choices, even when the finish line isn't visible on the horizon, because they understand a fundamental truth. Marriage isn't some well-kept secret, and it absolutely isn't just a stroke of random luck. It is the direct result of this exact journey. It's the outcome of taking personal responsibility for your own growth. And that brings us to Section 4, moving forward, taking action. The beautiful truth in Mazal's coaching is that shifting from that victim mindset to the responsible mindset isn't some massive, impossible leap. It's simply a forward movement. It starts with one small decision to stop standing still. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to ask yourself today. Look at your own patterns. Are you going to be the victim, waiting for the world to change, or the responsible one, changing yourself? Ask yourself honestly, what are you actually willing to do to get married? If you are ready to take that responsibility and stop spinning your wheels, you don't have to do it alone. You are invited to contact Mazal Klein, a coach for marriage and happy relationships, who accompanies couples for closer communication at the cell phone number 052-328-6037. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and we really hope this helps you take that empowering step forward.